Hey YouTube, welcome back to Just Piddlin Barbecue. Today we're doing St. Louis style ribs. Stay tuned. Like I said, today I'm doing St. Louis style ribs, but what I've done is I have trimmed my own St. Louis style ribs out of spare ribs. I did a short video on that so you wouldn't have to watch all that. If you're interested in it, I'm going to load that video up about the same time I load this video up, so check that out. I'll put it up here in the iCard above. Click on that and I'll show you how to trim your St. Louis style ribs out of some spare ribs. But these were spare ribs and I have trimmed them up pretty uniform into some St. Louis style ribs, and now we're just going to season them up. I'm also going to season up the trimmings from my spare ribs, and like the tips and that top part, and I'm going to throw it on the grill as well. There's a lot of good meat on that. I may snack on it a little bit. I may cut all the meat off of the bones and put them in a container and put them in the freezer for another time. But there's nothing wrong with that meat. But if you want a nice uniform St. Louis cut rib that is going to cook nice and even and fit on your grill really nice, then this is the way to go. So now we're just going to season them up. All right, I'm going to do these two ways, and I'm debating, I think I may do a dual cook like I did with the Boston Butts. And by dual cook I mean I may throw one of these on the Silverbac and I may throw one of these on the Weber. I haven't really decided yet if I want to drag both of them out, but either way I'm going to season each one of these a little bit differently. Both of them is going to get some olive oil. Now if you want to use mustard, feel free to use mustard. I'm just not a big mustard fan, and I always do my ribs and my Boston Butts with olive oil. So that's what I'm going to do here. With this first one, I'm going to be using Meat Church's Bacon Barbecue Rub. And we're just going to go on with that on both sides. I have removed the membrane on both sides. So give it a good coating. Backside really doesn't matter in my opinion as much as the front side. I do like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the first time that I've trimmed my own St. Louis style ribs. Usually I just buy spare ribs, season them up and throw them on. I've got two other rib videos, and as you can see, I just throw the spare ribs on. They turn out great. But I will have to say I do kind of like the uniform shape of these St. Louis styles. So there's one, seasoned up nicely. And now the second one. Now with this one, again I'm going to go in with some olive oil. Give it something to bind to. Both sides. And with this one, I'm going to go in with Reload Rub and Seasonings, the Double Action Sweet and Smoky. I think that'll be great on these ribs. St. Louis style cut by Just Piddlin Butchers. And let's go on with that. And I really like this rub because the consistency of it, it's not super fine, but it's fine enough that, and light enough that it really sticks to that binder. That's gonna make a great color right there. Let's get the other side. Now on my Silverbac, I'm gonna be using a different kind of pellet that I've never used. I did use it last night on some chicken leg quarters, but I'm going to be using lumberjack pellets in the hickory flavor for these ribs. And if I do my Weber kettle, I'm going to be using old regular Kingsford Blue Original with some hickory chunks. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to cook these, get the grills out, and I'll meet you back out there. Alright guys, I'm out here at the grills. I decided to do both of them. It's a little bit of work setting them up, but you know, what else I have to do today? I'm just piddling. So we're going to do one rack on the Weber Kettle MasterTouch, and we're going to do one rack and the scraps on the Silverbac. Now on here, like I said, I got lumberjack pellets running with hickory, and on the Weber Kettle, instead of hickory chunks, I'm going to go with a different flavor on here because I've got some cut up pieces of red oak from a Watchman stove, and I decided I'm going to use a stick of red oak on here. So I'm just going to lay it on top and let it smoke. It ought to give a nice even smoke being one solid stick like this. So I got a few briquettes heating up over there in my chimney, and as soon as they get heated up, I'll show you how we're going to set it up. Alright guys, now what I have got, I had some leftover lump from my last cook that didn't burn, so I've got it over here in this corner. I've got charcoal briquettes, Kingsford Blue, all the way around the rest of the way, and I forgot to get a drip pan this morning, one of those throwaway tinfoil pans to put underneath. So I'm just going to use one of my charcoal baskets as my divider and use it that way, and it's going to be fine. I've got about 10 briquettes that I've already heated up in my chimney, and I'm going to put them in this corner over here. Maybe more than 10. Alright, now I'm just going to move those around a little bit. Get those spread out. Good. Alright, now I'm going to take my piece of red oak and just throw it on top. Let it start off in the heat, and as it burns, it'll slowly catch on and start smoking. Now we're going to get our grill grate on. Put that on. Get my insert in. I really don't need it, but I'll put it in there. And now we're just going to close it. Let that temp settle in. We're going to shoot for around 250. And we'll see how it goes. And now, while the kettle's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start my Silverbac. Let it come up to temp. And I'm going to set it at 250. Now, as soon as my Weber Kettle MasterTouch comes up to temp and my Grilla Silverbac comes up to temp, both of them, I'm going to try to run that one at 250. I've got this one set at 250. This one's running hickory, and I've got a stick of red oak in my Weber Kettle. So as soon as these come up, we'll get the ribs on. Alright guys, both the grills are up to temp. The Silverbac's at 265, it's coming back down. And the Weber, it's probably running around 285 or so, but it's coming down too. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Again, lumberjack hickory is what I'm running in the Silverbac. And again, these are the trimmings from me doing the St. Louis cut off of the spare ribs. And I'm going to put those on as well. And there's that top part that we cut off. Now here's our St. Louis style ribs. And now we're going to go meat side up, right there in the middle. lid down and let them go. Again, I've got my heat side over here, my non-heat side over here. We're going to put our little trimmings on. Now here's our St. Louis style ribs. I'm going to put them down. Let them go. Quick update, folks. The Grilla Silverbac's running 255. Been on maybe an hour. There we go. And let's check out the Weber Kettle MasterTouch. Running at about 255, 260. I mean, don't get much closer than that. Let's check her out. And she's working. She's working. There we go. Alright folks, I'm going to give these a little spritz. It's been about an hour. And all I've got here in my spray bottle is some apple cider vinegar and water. I'm just going to give everything a little spritz. Keep everything nice and moist. And we're going to do the same thing over here with the Weber kettle. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this one-handed and film. The struggle being a YouTuber is real, folks. The struggle is real. There we go. Put the lid back on. Alright guys, welcome back. I gotta be honest with you, yesterday afternoon I had a buddy of mine come over during the middle of the cook for these ribs, and we got into the music and the coolers a little bit and started having a good time, and time got away from me. So this is the day after. We actually ate one of the racks of ribs. They turned out awesome. This is the other rack of ribs that I did, and this came off of the Weber kettle. Now the one on the Silverbac got done a little bit quicker than this one did. And I'll also be honest with you too, don't knock ribs that are left over from the day before. Some of the best ribs I've ever had were ribs the day after. So all I did was keep these in foil, set the oven on about 300 degrees and let them warm up for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. And again, they're still nice and tender. Good smoke ring on them. You can see the juice dripping out of them, matter of fact. And we're gonna give these a try. I have not tried these, so we're gonna give these a try. Still really juicy. Nice smoke ring on them. Good flavor. I did red oak on this one. Very good. Man, really good. Give some ribs a try. Season them how you want to. Use a different assortment of woods to give it a good smoke. And have a good time out in your backyard. Till next time, I'll be piddling.